What up? What up? Y'all already know what it is, but of course,
Do they really know what it is?
put it in the description. The synopsis of it all. Girl power, my nigga. I'm not gonna lie, because let me ask you a question. How do you feel about strong female characters in franchise? Or yeah, let me just ask that first.
Useful if done right.
And what do you believe is done right? How do you believe it's done right versus its opposite?
Mm,
You seen the Marvel Endgame, and when they had that, because I can tell you what I don't. It's I feel like it's some things just feel like it's forced. That was hella forced, even though it was cool, but it's like, eh,
yeah. So you sort of get where I'm coming from. I'm
okay,
along the same lines. It's sort of
okay.
like uh if they're going to be strong female characters, make sure that the characters are fleshed out. We know about them. Um, some of the pitfalls could be when the women are just a little bit too submissive to certain men in a particular story,
Mm,
and they'll necessarily think on their own. Um, but
yeah, okay.
also just steering clear of those cheesy moments where it just feels like, oh yeah, yeah, we're gonna put all the women, and now after they showed all of the superheroes, it's kind of like a class photo sort of thing. It was like, okay, everybody, now all of the women, now all the men. It yeah, that sort of seems a little bit cheesy.
Mm, yeah, exactly my point. I mean, yeah, I definitely didn't. Yeah, would it? I wouldn't. I wouldn't try to portray it in that way. As far as what Marvel did, it just seems like no one that's the thing ever says it's that thing in truth. Like you all give it a name, but at the same time, it's just a social description of what we could both share as an experience or as a particular direction. But
What do you mean?
I, as far as you don't have to boast about the thing that you. It's almost like rich, wealthy versus rich. Rich people have money in at the time right then and there. Wealth is more of a lucrative generational type of thing. I feel as as something that's permanent versus something that's just periodic.
Yeah, I get you.
But I don't know. I mean, I do see. I mean, just the patriarchy, and it's everywhere. I had this discussion with a hollow. It's everywhere you see as far as any type of literature, whether it's historical, religious, pop culture. You do see a lot of masculinity, as some would call it, but it's so much deeper as far as what we grow up to think and feel. And but aside from what we just naturally would go about feeling and thinking.
Of course, it's in all media. Even if we're going to take it back to the end game sort of thing. Yeah, they had the girl power moment, but then guess who turned around and saved the world?
Yep.
Two men.
Yeah.
Two men. Captain America and Iron Man.
Yeah. Everyone definitely had their moments and their, a significant event, a significant difference, like Doctor Strange. If it wasn't for him, none of that shit would play out. Or it would play out in another reality. It's a multiverse. So it's,
Yet another
yeah.
man.
Yeah, God, who knows, bro? Like who
Good
but
job staying on topic.
stupid. But in the come up and coming review for next 2 weeks, in 2 weeks,
Hmm.
it's gonna be Black Lagoon. So it's a lot of that aspect in it. That's why I chose this particular subject. Now that's an anime to where you show a lot of very, I mean, it's strong female representatives or characters, but at the same time, they all have pretty much a lot of fucking issues too. That kind of stems from that no fucks given type of attitude.
Not even just Black Lagoon. Even next week's choice, the Fate
Fate,
movie.
yep, that's
Fate has
true.
always had
Yep,
strong female characters.
true. Fate is just all around just diverse. And oh my god, I'm gonna have a very hard deliberation with myself because I it was in playing in the background. I seen about, well, I guess half of it looking in and out. I was gonna do something else, but just I know the premise of probably kind of what's gonna happen from because I seen Heaven's Feel 2 and 1 and 2, so I kind of know what they're. Some of this stuff I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch a few more times. Not because of I'm confused, but just it's a lot of stuff in there that is, I don't know, it's just badass. It's just gonna be hard, especially animation. I think animation wise is gonna be the hardest to give it because I feel like that is top. That is top tier. You honestly, at the time now in this day and age, you can't get no better than that. Because man, just as of now, it's like it's my god, it's fuck. How do you feel about it?
For me, it was a choice that has been on the watch list. Um, Never necessarily got around to watching it,
Okay,
but this
okay.
was just my
You seen two
opportunity.
though, right?
Hmm.
About the same. About the same. I mean, it's yeah. You seen two then? Yeah. I mean, just animation wise, is that shit.
Oh yeah, Fate has always been top tier when it
Oh
comes to
my
animation, especially
man.
how they integrate some of like the superpowers or phantasms. When
Reincarnation
they,
aspects, a lot of this stuff. Holy Grail. Holy Grail's been that's old school Gnostic medicine. It's just cool shit all around. I do see why it wouldn't be up there when it comes to it's what you call those? It's that it's a cult following type shit. It's like underground, but it's a lot of people.
hmm
But it's just not risen to the surface like My Hero or
yeah,
some
it's
Naruto stuff.
definitely not as mainstream, but
Man, yeah, yeah.
the series is definitely on Netflix and a lot of these streaming services. So yeah, I'm
hmm
pretty sure it's where they get most of their watches, even though it's not as mainstream as some of the bigger names.
Yeah. That's why I can never go by just majority. I it's I can't.
You have to see for yourself.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, you do. Like, because a lot of things are just overly hyped, and you know, I just look at it and then I was like, okay, it's
Hey, that's
watchable.
partially why we made this podcast. So
Yeah, stupid. What do you think the most disrespectful uh interpretation of female characters as far as just poorly represented?
mm, that's a that's a hard one because when it comes to anime, a lot of times when they're portraying women, it's just downright disrespectful. Honestly, they always got to have the big titty, um,
Damn.
cute girl that'll do whatever you say, and that's not a
Mm,
realistic depiction
yeah.
of how women are. They're
Yeah.
not necessarily independent. They don't necessarily make their own thoughts. It's just like, hey, I belong to you. What do you want me to do, master?
Hmm.
So when it's something like that, yes, of course. Um, also the dumb blondes.
Oh, the dumb blonde narrative.
Yeah, that's a
Mm,
sort of bad trope for women, but
yeah.
you see it a lot in the anime community.
Yeah. Like I understand, like when it comes to just the whole uh compete like in real life, just in IRL, competing in certain sports and stuff of that nature, and just the genetics of it all. Just it's like you got a jar with a bunch of M&Ms and you got a few green. You got like 30% of green, or let's say 40, 60, 60-40. What's the likely chance of you picking green? As far as just
Is this a math class? 4 out of 10, of course.
yeah, okay. I feel like it could be done, but just in a different type of league. It could just be, a league of all around participants. You fill out that waiver and you get it on if that's what you so choose. And I feel like that would determine. I mean, I ain't gonna say it's obvious because it's not all about the raw powers, techniques and everything that goes into it. But honestly, Marvel stuff like Marvel and DC, I feel like most of their top tiers are, especially X-Men. X-Men had always had the best abilities. Teen Titans, where the males had, bro, nigga, give me Starfire and Raven. Fuck all that. Fuck that other shit, bro. I feel like they do betray, especially in X-Men, uh, like the best and most overpowered abilities. That's mostly showed in the limelight, of course. But in the sense of, you just don't make it obvious. That's all I ask. Just don't make it reasonable. But then again, I'm really just in a way saying just make it common sense, and I don't believe in that.
But granted,
Not in that way.
Starfire is an alien and Raven is a demon spawn.
Yeah, I mean,
While
yeah, and
while while while
Robin
while
is a
Robin
human,
doesn't have
and
powers, while Robin doesn't have powers at all. Of
yeah.
course, he's the one
Oh
that you
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah. I
choose to
mean, I'm
choose
not
better.
I'm not trying to like go off of there. I mean, yeah, the origin is the origin. I'm not going off of fairness, but just as it is as a whole. and what they has what they've introduced.
I feel like a lot of times when you're watching a Teen Titan stories, the female characters more times than not are overshadowed by the male character because you don't really get too much information. Well, they do have the episodes where they go into like the sort of character's home or past or whatever, but
Mm.
outside of that, Robin or Beast Boy or Cyborg would probably be one of the more, I guess, talkative, or they get more of the limelight than anything.
Mm. Now he is the Robin is the leader, so I mean,
Not even that. It's just also going into the other women that they like.
now we talking about like the whole like even in the latest movies where he's pretty much Damien is with his crush with Ray. I feel like that's the oh my god I love it. I didn't even match them up, and that's a perfect matchup. Damien and fucking Raven. I like Raven's type of character. That those tropes. She's not like a tsundere, which I would kind of generally categorize my personal interest, but it's a more mysterious thing. She is another. It's somewhere within that bubble, that generalized bubble.
She's just a goth
Fucking.
chick. That's not even anime. That's an American cartoon.
Yeah. Yeah. She just in all in general.
So we have different tropes in America versus the Japanese
I
cartoon
mean, their
community.
tropes are just concepts in Japanese you can easily interpret in English.
Mm, yeah, I guess,
Like,
but
if you know what a tsundere is, then have you ever met a tsundere in life as so far in real life?
I say that life imitates art, and the reason that Raven doesn't necessarily match up with that tsundere style.
Not all, not in whole though. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying in whole.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So she doesn't match up exactly. So
Yeah.
in with American cartoons and tropes, life often imitates art. So we don't necessarily have that tsundere character trope here. So I can't necessarily see I've seen tsundere women in my life, or maybe I'm just hanging around the wrong crowds.
Hmm. I mean, you're just not a. I don't say wrong crowd, just not that crowd, I guess. But somebody always not has that because in anime they take that concept and that's their entire fucking personality.
Mm-hmm.
But that that demeanor can be can show itself in just times of of hanging out with a person. Of course, I guess you will have to kind of psychologically examine it the whole fucking time, or just remember. But all in all, because I know with the story that I'm coming, that I've been working on for years and just been kind of meditating on it. I do have a lot more. I'm trying to make it balanced, but at the same time, I'm not going to disregard uh, immediate facts.
What do you mean making it balance?
As when it comes to just the feminine aspect and masculine, taking
So you're trying to
those.
have a perfect medium. Why not just do all women the characters for the story?
That it wouldn't work with my entire opus of the concept of my story. I could do another, I guess, another story which is all females, but I honestly don't have a desire to do that. I don't want to put all females in my
In this
story.
piece of work. Okay.
Not in this. Yeah, yeah. I could like what would be a good all female story to where you have a reason to have all females.
Uh, they go to an all girls school.
Okay, okay,
Um,
okay.
they are in a post war era where all the men were sent out to battle, and the women had to be back to take care of home, make sure everything goes right. Uh, or I've always liked Wonder Woman the character. That's a great way for all
Wonder
women candidates.
Woman is I love Wonder Woman for a, a few reasons, but they're big when it comes to just the whole morality of how she handles shit versus other heroes.
Hmm.
Because she kills these motherfuckers. Like she like nah. Who said it? She was talking to someone. I think Superman or Batman. But she was like, "There's a reason why I don't. Wait, there's a reason why they don't come back or some shit." She said something like, I kill my enemies." Simple as that. It's simple as that. Like I kill these niggas. And even in the new man, so Wonder Woman is a I feel like a now, and she was kind of that was kind of fucking with her in the comics, and when it comes to just Justice League comics versus her own shit, where she don't no mercy on that type of thing. But in this latest movie, that Injustice, they yes, like the pinnacle of my type of female character.
But yeah, those are just a few examples. So the whole Amazonian,
Mm-hmm.
war tribe sort of thing. That's a good way to have an all female cast. Just we're gonna get strong. Just beat the fuck out of shit. Yes,
Stupid
girl power.
ass. Yeah,
We can do it too.
true. But when it comes to like if you're just making a series of supernatural and whatnot, it's the only thing that would just be obvious uh comparison is just the physical capabilities of a man versus a woman. So
I mean, I
supernatural,
just
if
thought
you
of
have a
the
supernatural series, that's kind of taken out if it's on that level. You don't
not
have to
necessarily.
work.
What if only women got these powers? The women had this particular gene that allowed them to become superpowered, whereas men could.
That's actually a good scenario. How would that be rationalized as far as how
Uh,
would what you would introduce that to the public as far as any type of uh, explanation?
I don't know. Shit. There was some sort of cataclysmic accident in the galaxy that released some sort of wave, or I don't know, and it affected women in a particular area. Then the women would sort of be at a power struggle with the men because now the men aren't necessarily the strongest. They aren't always stronger than the women. Uh,
Mm,
in this sort of scenario, maybe it could go one way, whether they're fighting for equality, or the other way, as far as now it's going to be up to save you guys because you are all regulars and we got to become the superheroes and protect the world.
hmm.
So
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of ways that a woman could justify having a female society.
Mm-hmm.
Women ran, what's that about matriarchy?
Yep.
So, but in a way, it almost always couldn't be done unless you just did something, extremely difficult in order to have a all what you got like you had women, kings or queens that ran entire, countries and stuff, but at the same time, it was just that the head was just a female. It's just like if we had a women president, it doesn't really make the entire United States of America a, that type, what I'm trying to say.
Unless the president kicks all the men out.
Stupid.
Madam President just kicks every, hey, get out, man. You suck. Just because of
God
Donald
damn.
Trump and his BS. Now you all got to leave.
God damn.
You're ruining the
It went
country.
from kick him in the what is it? What was it? Kick, man, what is it?
It went from lock her up to kick him out.
No, the thing Donald Trump said with the pussy.
Oh, grab her by the pussy.
Yeah, they be grabbing by the balls. So, I swear to God, that weakness though, that's a horrible weakness. That's a horrible weakness for men. Let's kick him in. Let's kick him in the nuts. That's it. That's it. I don't think directly that would hurt, but just having a slight nudge kick, like let's say they kicked you in between the nuts and your leg, but a small like piece of the skin was caught in that force of the kick. That happened to me before, and that shit was
Raising get
not.
hurts too. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
understand.
It's for some reason that is a more of an agonizing. I don't know. I don't know. It's like it lasts longer. I feel like if they kick me directly in the nuts, both of my nuts would just go in the both two opposite directions instead of
And
actually.
then come back and hit each other and then make it hurt worse. It's like a Newton ball set.
Stupid. But you seen Black Lagoon before though, right?
I believe so. If I did, it was a while ago.
Like that's always the remember. That's one of the things I will always bring up when there's someone asks me for a recommendation. And depending on the person too, because I wouldn't give them just what I would feel. But it would depend on the person what they like and what they really into, and what they've seen already.
Mhm.
And but sometimes they're new, which I rarely get. That they've watched a few things. I rarely get to some nigga to say I never watched anime before. If they did that, they're not gonna. I doubt they'll start then. Well, they could, but I rarely get that type of person interaction. I've been meeting all types of people at the airport and whatnot. Niggas telling me stuff I ain't know. I say, what the fuck? But they don't live, they be coming all connected flights and shit. So they all over the place.
Yeah. So speaking of new anime, you seen the a new anime with strong female characters besides Black Lagoon? Like something that's came out more recently?
Let me see. Like a rememberable, not to horribly did. I'm not even gonna bring that shit up. That's not even recent either. He's fucking trash when it comes to that. Bleach too, to be honest. Um, That is a good question.
I mean, well, I can think of one off the top of my head, Yashahime.
Yashahime, yeah, okay, yeah. I seen the first episode. I actually about to. I'm at least try to watch at least a good 6 episodes today.
And that's a interesting way to sort of make it a sort of all female focused sort of character.
Yeah, cause they all are female. Cause they got the
Yeah.
twin sisters.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, and then they got Coach Yashahime, and that's it, ain't it?
Yeah, it mostly focuses around those three women.
Okay. And they
With
supposed to be like
some,
chosen or something. I didn't really get too much in the first episode, but and Yasuo that shit. And Yasuo, love the Yasuo. I mean, in a love hate type of way, but it's just one of those things. Like I'll never not like Inuyasha. I'm honestly watching Yashahime give it. I mean, I have to. I even if it's trash the entire way, I gotta watch it. Sango best girl. Like Kagome was never the thing, never the move. At the end of it, kind of at the end, she kind of grew some. She grew a clit, I guess. But I feel like they played the gender role perfectly, pretty well. I mean, not perfectly, but pretty well. Like Sango, another strong female character, one of the best in her clan. Who else? But deep diving on the shit though. No, let me try to get this out. How do you which which aspects of both well, just of the female role should never be betrayed?
um,
You actually kind of said one that I agree with earlier when it came to you know, uh, the dependency.
yeah,
But then again, I feel like that's something I would put everyone in that bubble of responsibility. No one should be dependent on anything. But that's
but
a
that's a
bit hard
common trope
to
with
true.
women. That's a common trope with women, especially in the
That is,
anime.
yeah,
You don't
it is,
necessarily get that this much with men.
yeah. Like it's some really toxic shit though that I just have conversations with people, and it was just who was it? I think it was my friend across the street. Uh, he was like, women are like when men when they when they're in a relationship, men are the ones that provide the excitement or the direction or the plan for the day or you know the
When it comes to anime,
initiator. No, just well, no, just in real life.
uh,
So hmm,
I guess depending on the situation that they're in, a relationship where Uh, speaking of, uh, a lot of times the women have been taught growing up that maybe you should take a back seat to the man in order to keep the man. So,
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
but yeah,
it's it's whatever you decide to accept, and with both parties having that mutual understanding that this is what I will agree to, submit to, allow, whatever. As long as that, it's a thing. I'm pretty sure I have one of the only moms that would be considered a legitimate housewife.
ooh, don't I know it?
Shut the fuck. Shut your bitch ass up. Trash
But
is
yeah,
always.
there are always those homemakers out there. The women that will take the back seat, like I was saying, so that the men or the man in the situation can be the provider, to go out and be that gatherer hunter to provide for the.
Gather. Hunter gatherer.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, even I look at it more, just to make to validate that point. Just looking at the animal kingdom and a lot, just like on the mammals and more, just looking at their relationships. Lions that we always portray in symbolism when it comes to certain things, you know.
But what about seahorses?
Yeah, mate for fucking life. I can like.
No, the men have the babies.
Oh yeah, that too. I forgot all about that. But yeah, when seahorses mate, they like they don't mate with anyone else. That's it. That's the need. That's done. It's kind of like a permanent when it comes to uh a female black widow versus a male black widow. Sometimes, a lot of times they die. Sometimes they don't, because they will kill them and use them as a fucking food source for the new babies that come about.
Yeah. Think we need more anime focus on those type of animals or insects. The
That would
bugs.
be, yeah,
The
but yeah.
whether when the women eat your head off because they're done with you, or
Damn, like what? Yeah, like seriously, what if that they took that type of uh, that psychological uh ideal, just innate with it. We would die. We would be on some bumblebee type shit. You can do it, but you're gonna pull. You're gonna just squeeze everything out. Stupid ass.
actually, there was an anime I seen recently where it was these twin boys that were from this snow region, and it was very rare that they had boys. And if they did, then they locked them up for sexual purposes because the community was mainly women.
Wait, what is that? That sounds like a plot to a hentai.
I can't remember the name of the anime though. I'm very
Yeah, look
bad
that
with
shit up. Look that shit up. That sounds interesting actually. For scientific purposes. Stupid.
No, it was just like a small piece of the anime when they went into like one of the characters' backstories on why they are how they are.
Mm.
And
Yeah. I was just going around to those groups that would try to overthink and over simplify the whole toxic masculinity of, or just the dominance of male characters, or the representation of it all. I know what media is trying to do. They're trying, which I secretly encourage. I'm not going to go out with a fucking sign or anything trying to do, but I understand where females are coming from when they have these type of thoughts. I know I have my sister always talking about, just walking down the street, just how dangerous things could be, or you know, I see things in a lot of, in a light that a lot of people wouldn't be able to experience, because that's just not how they was grew up, not necessarily raised. I wasn't, I just seen things, and I have conversations where I don't give a, I give questions every now and again, just to see how deeply people would feel about certain things. I'm not trying to have a, I'm not having a debate. It's just again, general discussion is just not. It's not. It's I would have to be in equal to the conversation. But a lot of times I just like to nitpicking in the brain, just to see. Do you believe in the whole mental, men are mental versus women are emotional, as far as the aspects of, you always see
Sure, in a
those type
way.
of terms, empathy or nurturing, uh, that, those type of concepts versus the man, the intellectual, mental, the not
Yeah, uh,
caregivers.
I agree with it in a way, uh, because there are more times than not more men that are more analytical on their problem solving, and women tend to be more emotional, but there are the exceptions to the rule. I think it just all boils down to whether or not you're in touch with your emotions as much as the next person.
Mm, yeah, I can agree with that. I honestly
But
do feel, but I would feel or believe, not strongly, but it's a lot of, it's a lot of real life evidence that I can equate to other people, and we can have a personal, and it's like the experience. You didn't have to explain all the way, and he was like, "Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about," and then they rebuttal with another mutual idea that they can completely understand. I just don't go by, so, oh yeah, I know what you. I gotta let you know that I know what you're talking about. That type of vagueness. But honestly, when it comes to the emotional aspect, that's a very strong uh, uh, force, as far as being able to control it, your temperament, especially when it comes to martial arts and stuff of that nature. Which is probably why you don't see a lot of, just it's one of those occupations you just don't see women in as much. There are more women on this planet than there are men, but that's, for obvious reasons. But it's also certain things that you don't see women trying to pursue. as far as maybe some type of job or career. And even when it comes to anime, you have
In media, yeah, in anime, but when it comes down to it, there are probably just as many women that are skilled martial artists IRL versus, in anime, which are sort of portraying a certain time period where women were known to be these homemakers.
yeah. Oh my God,
Because even if
I'll
we're
give
talking
it.
about UFC or WWE, any type of American fighting sport, there's always women. There's always a women's division.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, that is true. Now you can almost see people so the bias, and that's if you know someone's bias, uh, their own like personal algorithm of biasness. You can totally dominate them in a particular activity. It's almost like when it came to Meruem and I forgot his name and fucking Hunter X Hunter fight. Once you know someone's bias, which it's a habit, it's a mental habit versus a physical. But a habit is a habit regardless. It's a habit on all levels. Once you kind of get that, then it's yeah, you almost see how people would react to a certain thing. It's like any other thing. It's the same as saying a temperament, disposition, a demeanor, personality. It's a mixture of a bunch of habits.
So taking this discussion back to anime, how do you feel about Madoka versus Sailor Moon?
Madoka would fucking stomp. Did you see the
I'm
movie?
not necessarily talking about in a fight. I'm
Oh,
talking
okay,
about
okay. My
I'm
bad.
talking about like as far as like the actual anime, like
Oh,
the
Madoka Magica
story.
versus Sailor Moon.
Yes, yes.
Ooh, I've never been asked that question. I've all seen that shit. Huh. Now, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of things that Madoka Magica had as far as elements and animation.
So
And
are you saying that Madoka is better than Sailor Moon,
now,
in your opinion?
I'm trying to rationalize all the things that it would have. Sailor Moon is, I mean, they Sailor Moon pretty much boosted. I mean, it's literally it's the DBZ of magical girls and all that. And it has so many after that. Just I mean, Sailor Moon was just I slick seeing somebody with a Sailor Moon wallet, fucking some
Yes.
old person. I was like, bro, god damn, is this yo? But yeah, Sailor Moon was just. But I'm not going to take its uh like its contribution into some type of biasness or unfair outcome. But all in all, I'm gonna say Madoka Magica.
Mm.
I'm gonna say Madoka Magica. All in all, they had a lot. I mean, they just did its original basic tropes. I feel like Madoka
So
Magica had a lot more concepts to really think about, and you can watch it again and get something new. More so you can with Sailor Moon.
so with that question being answered, why do you feel like that Madoka Magica doesn't or haven't necessarily reached the level that of familiarity that Sailor Moon has?
It's almost like how anyone hasn't reached certain aspects, but they still listen to the same genre of music or shows or whatever, but it's something about it. It's just something about it that introduces that thing to it. Sailor Moon, of course, they didn't. It died out, but it left a seed which blossomed into so much other shit. DBZ, on the other hand, of course, just kept going, and
Eventually.
yeah. Because it did fucking die for a minute. So, but
For a long minute.
Sailor Moon redid it, and Sailor Moon Crystal, they is a readaptation of Sailor Moon. You know, that's as far as it went, and after that, I don't think it had anything else. But it's just again, we going by, I don't know, it's a and then again, I can I wouldn't be able to honestly compare the two, because I would have to really watch Sailor Moon again. It's been so fucking long. That's actually one of the ones that I haven't went back and just wow. I rewatched S Cryad, fucking Neo Genesis, well I got Inuyasha. Um,
I'm gonna need you to stop contributing to the patriarchy and start putting your time into watching these women-led animes, man.
what you mean, bruh? First of all, I'm gonna need you to stop right there, my guy. That is oh fuck it Tokyo Ghoul Toka. Oh, love the character. Oh my god, I just love those type of characters, and I understand it. I do be understanding some of these the females complaints, feminine complaints, in that whole group. I know and understand. Most people don't know about who the fuck. If I say the name Lilith, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For most people, nothing,
Lilith?
because they have
Yeah.
no idea who that character is. And if you do, you probably come down to something that's demonic. If you, it may have been researching it on a very vague level. But it's been all over the place, right? We've been bombarded with the patriarchy, bombarded. I mean, of course, we are men, so we didn't think too much twice about it, aside from feeling some level of superiority. Some most people would probably conversational wise in real time say that they would agree, but their disposition does not show it whatsoever, nor their conversations. Like the communication levels are fucking screwed. But it's only due to the fact of a pre-representation of how you feel about a significant other, or the power of feminine energy, the
So going
dominance
back
of,
to the
of women.
so going back to the comparisons like we were doing earlier. Since you said Madoka Magical Girl is better, okay, let's go with that. So Madoka versus do you remember watching Nia Under Seven? Because that was also female led.
No, I didn't. No, that was one of the reviews, right? Yeah, I didn't get a chance to. I think I was
Yep.
absent. Then I didn't get a chance to watch that.
No, I think you watched it because
Neo
you
under
gave
seven.
it a review because you said it
I
was
gave
funny.
it. I gave it
Nia
score.
Under Seven. That's with the alien
Okay.
girl. It had it was the alien girl that was making all the flying saucers, and then the main character that kept calling her a um what did she call her? Fucking pretty much she wasn't contributing because she didn't have a job. So fucking nuclear some shit.
This nigga.
But she
So,
was blowing holes in the roof with the flying saucers that she was creating.
I, for the life of me, I can't remember. What
Mm.
what score did I give it?
Uh, that's besides the point. I was just trying to find a gauge on what do you because I feel like the whole Sailor Girl trope is a little bit demeaning to women because of course they're super powered, yeah, but
Oh yeah, the
they still
skirts was
have
completely just. I mean, it was sexualized all the way,
yeah.
I feel yeah. You don't need that in order to have a good girl power stuff,
Hmm.
but that is a good way, just like a music video, booty 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 rocking everywhere. So it grabs your attention, given the fact, I mean, of
But
obvious.
when it comes down to that, there's also women that you know take that and run with it, like Cardi B, Meg The Stallion, City Girls.
Now they are, I would say, kudos. I would not. That's in the end of it. I can't say either or. I'm not the end all be all when it comes to that judgment. But if you're gonna do it, at least be smart about it. Knowing the fandom and how they will react to a particular uh now gravitational pull. So yeah, that's that's a smart thing. If you're a drug dealer, then shit, fucking do people know how to work around certain things, or a fucking computer hack. Just be smart about it. It's like fucking 6ix9ine. He knew exactly that he when he first started. He admitted he didn't give a. I mean, he didn't know people was gonna like his music, but they did, so he just kept going with it. Doesn't do it. It's not a level of that intimate relationship with the music. It's the knowing that you can get the money from it, and knowing society or a particular group. It lacks heart in a way, but not. Yeah. What was the original? What was the thing? I be going on tangents. I swear to God.
Yeah, but this all came up for the because the Sailor Girl trope was pretty much it's a little bit
Yeah,
demeaning to
yeah,
women
yeah, 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 yeah.
because most
Most
times they're
definitely.
half naked. Even if you think about stuff like Kill a Kill.
Killer. Yes, nigga. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And being at the con, talking to people about stuff like that. I've never heard. I don't think I've ever heard. I've never been in a conversation like that uh with a anime loving female. That I got. It's a lot of them that I talk to. They be thinking the shit is badass. They even dress like them. So they don't. But when it comes to that conversation, about the demeaning, uh, maybe they thought about it. I don't know. I have no idea.
I
I
mean,
know.
it all depends on the person because if they're more versed in anime and they know the culture, then it's just another thing to watch because it's something that they're used to watching. But when it
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
to people that are trying to get into, these type of things, the people that are the social justice warriors or women that are all for women's rights or that type of thing, that argument would come up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That is, that's. I mean, yeah. I know a very kind of a female, someone kind of like that, but they still watch anime. They're just not getting into like Twitch gaming streams and whatnot, but they do have a strong anatomy when it comes to their ideal. But honestly, that's when it comes to when I go back to things of, just don't let it bother you. it's in simplest terms, like if I was like, I don't could go in another tangent with that, but it's like just know that these representations does not represent you. I don't. That's why I would never be in. I would never be or say that I'm in any particular group when it comes to any type of ideal or whatnot, religious based or otherwise, because it's always never. I can't lock myself up with that. I can agree, but I can't. I won't say that. I don't know that I'm this or that. Because it's always something that once it represents the whole. And if you say you're in that, then even if they've been accepted into it, but they've gotten, whatever, this fellowship in a sense, then guess what? They got it that far with the acceptance of the people that have accepted them. Poor judge of character, maybe, but it's always nice though to see people take their weakness as a strength or their said weakness. You seen fucking what's that? The chick from the newer anime. Damn. You know with Gojo, the dude with the eye, the infinite shit, the infinite void. I forgot the name of the anime. It's new.
Yeah, I'm still doing my work to catch up on some of the newer stuff now.
No,
I'm
I know you've seen it though. I know you know what I'm. The damn fuck. Man, what's the name of the anime? You know the dude that looked like Kakashi, like a fucking whole Kakashi copy.
and he has an eye.
What he has the blind, but once he takes off his thing, he has that ability that goes into his domain, that personal domain and whatnot. That little ability. The chick with the hammer, the dude with curses and stuff. I forgot. Damn, it's oh my god, I hate myself.
There's a lot of chicks with a lot of hammers and a lot of anime.
Nigga, name two.
uh, the girl from Seven Deadly Sins, she has a hammer, and it was another anime that I was watching. What's the name of that shit? Um, Give me 2 seconds. Let me see if I can find
Damn,
this.
I ain't all day. You talk, yeah. Oh fuck, forgot about it. Yeah,
Okay.
Diane.
Yeah, Diane, definitely one.
Yeah, I forgot
And
all
there is
about
a
this
girl
shit.
in
Oh shit.
I can't pronounce it. Ari Fueta, Farida. Ari
From,
Farida is
from what?
Arfureta. That's the name of the anime. From Commonplace to World's Strongest. There's a girl in that. One of the side characters has a hammer as well.
Okay. That anyway, it'll come to me later. But it was a scene in there. I don't know what that because I actually I did not finish the anime. I like seen like 3 episodes. I didn't even get to I just seen certain scenes and clips and whatnot. But it was a scene that she was kind of doing that Marvel type or that just that outright confirmation report on being a female and yada yada, giving a speech. But it wasn't as chilling as or well not chilling. Uh, Cringe. It wasn't cringe as I thought it would be when she was going into it. I was like, oh, okay. Like, cause she, I think she did set, just confront. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm a woman, so what? Type, and then she finished the business. But that's actually a thing, though, when it came to like having a particular power system. Because bro, you came up with that idea. That's actually, bro. You should really do that. Oh, this man died. This nigga here. Oh, is that him? Oh, hold on.
My bad, technical
Ah,
difficulties.
nigga, yo, you is a technical difficulty. But that idea you had when it came to uh the all female, just the female characters with the abilities, and then
Yeah,
over the yeah. How would you go? That's very interesting. I've been thinking about that kind of in and out. How would you go about that?
meaning
Meaning just the story, or how would the abilities play within each character, or would it just like be random? Oh no, just whatever, however the
it
power
would be
system.
it would be random abilities. Sort of like pretty much think
X-Men
um no
or My Hero.
yeah think My Hero but all women.
That has I mean, My Hero, X-Men is pretty much the same shit.
Yeah, but what
But yeah,
I'm talking about with it integrated more with the government, like My Hero versus X-Men, where they are a separate entity.
mm,
If it makes sense. Well, no, maybe like One Punch Man, because I feel like they're more integrated. Because My Hero is a bit more, I guess, there's a school for the kids that works with the government, but One Punch Man is actually a part of the government. So that sort of structure, and they'll be pretty much um, using their powers to save the world and or working everyday jobs and competing for those higher positions and coming into
I feel like that's still a
turmoil with
hard.
the patriarchy. But it
Yeah,
can go a lot of different ways.
yeah. In our society, in IRL, how would you feel if we had like an X-Men type of society? How would the government fare against that? And our already advanced levels of technology. Let's say tomorrow, random people just woke up with just abilities.
It would depend on what people decide to do with those abilities.
Well, yeah, but
So
a
if
lot of that
they're
could be easily interpreted or assumed. Some people
no
would
no no no
go
no
and
no no, I'm just saying if people go out and kill people, then it would be a sort of violent start. So the common public discord around that would be okay, there are mutants popping up and they're killing people. So hide your kids, hide your wife, because they killing everybody out there.
yeah,
So the public opinion, everything's gonna be going on Twitter, Facebook. Mutants are bad. Mutants are evil. They kill people. Then it's not necessarily going to be accepted. However, if mutants pop up and they're saving lives, oh wow, this man with wings just saved me. I don't know what was going on. I just fell off of the cliff and he came and saved me. And then everybody talking about mutants are good. Yeah, yay mutants. Then they're publicly, praised. And at that point, they would be. sort of able to integrate into the government versus the other, where if they wanted to take over the government, the mutants would have to coalesce, join up to overthrow the government, which would be like a coup thing, and then it'll be humans versus mutants.
That's a very elaborate explanation. God damn, I like it. That's exactly how. I mean, you. It would definitely be some revolutions popping up, some against the government, trying to take over, and so because it's gonna be random people, so you will have people, groups with mutant allies and with their own weapons, because weapons still will be involved unless of course, anybody who will develop an ability to be immune, and like, as far as penetration to a bullet, then that's a whole nother. I honestly, I
Or
feel like
super strength,
that's
and they can use the weapons hard as fuck.
yeah, like
Which is why I
kind of
never understood why the fuck is the Hulk so big and he never had a weapon for real.
like you don't
He
need
would
it, man.
be he would be 100% better as a character. He would get
No,
way more
he
kills.
wouldn't. I mean, yeah, yeah, in a way, yeah, because a lot of the people that he would be immune to his blows, unless he just
Like,
fucking just punching. Any human would fucking die instantly,
of course,
regardless of
a
where they
human.
land, and yeah, but uh, but I mean, War World Hulk is like probably the only one we see that had had something.
Yeah, yeah. Only in that though. I really like that because he had a weapon.
Mm.
They should have did more with that. Or made that the real Hulk. Who knows?
Marvel did that shit poorly.
Yeah.
Now it's like that's not that they tried to put a world Hulk
Because they really
in a
made Hulk look like a dumb fuck in that in that Endgame
yeah.
series after he got beat up. He was just like, whoop, I can't be Hulk no more.
It's like
They really
no. What do you mean no? Stupid ass.
Hulk ain't gonna
Also,
do that
yeah,
in the comics.
yeah. I mean, yeah, most definitely. Like you go up against a Sentry, like nigga, you going up against a Superman plus type character.
Hulk will have definitely put up more of a fight than that. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, true. But yeah. All right. Well, shit. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
we're at the
lot of
hour.
other things to
Yeah,
dive into, but yeah, I ain't gonna draw it out to but I have a part two on it, my
yeah.
ideas,
So
and
this is we're at the hour and 15 mark. I think it's enough content for today. So you want to
later
close it out or
on,
you want me to
what
close it
PBS later on,
out?
or what tomorrow?
No, we're gonna have to get with the rest of the guys and see uh
Mm.
if they'll be available. But maybe next week. Don't know. We shall see what time allows.
All right.
So this has been another episode of the U.N.I. General Discussion. Uh, you know, don't forget to watch this week's anime. Uh, it's just a movie. It's a light week for the 24 episode that we have 2 weeks out. The anime is Fate. It was announced last night. Go back, watch that video. You'll see it at the very end. Make sure you click like. And anything you want to end out on, Suma?
Nah, that's
Any
pretty much
closing
it. Yeah.
lines?
Should stay
All
tuned for
right.
Black
Well,
Lagoon in 2 weeks. The new
hey, that
Fate.
it kind of rhymes. Stay tuned for Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
Okay, the newest Fate movie. See you guys next week.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fucking
Deuces.
thriller. Peace.